This conference will now be recorded.
Azim, Al-Aliyul 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 Azim. Allahumma lak sujudi wa ta'ati, shukran lillah walhamdulillah, shukran lillah walhamdulillah. Ya Ali Madad, sir.
या अली मदद, या अली मदद। बहुत खूब, सुभान अल्लाह। तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद। Thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning, and happy Fathers to the fathers online. And I hope everyone is having a blessed day. And inshallah, with Imam's mercy, with Imam's Khanavadan, Imam's Dua Ashish, Imam's Noor and his light is on our path. And inshallah, we are on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, moving closer and closer to the Noor Imamat, inshallah. Let's start our session. And we were at some question, and we have received more questions. And we will, inshallah, try to learn further into the sessions that we had started 5 weeks ago. Noor Maulana Shah Kareem Al Hussaini, Hazir Imam. Noor Maulana Shah Kareem Al Hussaini, Hazir Imam. Ya Maulay Mehrban, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad Farma, Alayul Qayyum, Ali Allah, Madad Farma, Alayul Qayyum. The one who is ever living and ever present. Alayul Qayyum, Ali Allah. He is the Ali Allah, the Noor-e Ilahi in manifested Imam. Ya Imam Mubin, Ya Noor Maulana Shah Kareem Al Hussaini, Hazir Imam. Help us with your Noor, Ya Maulay Mehrban. हमारे करीब आजा, अपना मुबारक हाथ हम गरीबों पर रख मौला. या मौलाए मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान. You are our spiritual father. You are our spiritual mother. You are everything to us, Mola. Without you, we are nothing. We are nothing. We are worse than the dust in the air. We have no identity, no value, nothing. You make us complete. It is you and your Nurani shadow on us which helps us move and move forward. How fortunate we are, Mola. Ya Mola, हमारी खुशकिस्मती देखें that you gave us the permission and blessed us so we may be born smiley in good families, in good jamaat, with good friends, with ilmi friends, with spiritual friends. Ya Maulay Mehrban, it is all you and you only that we say Shukar Mola, Shukar Alhamdulillah. You are the Subhan, you are the great, you are the most merciful. Ya Ali Allah. Give us tawfiq, Tawheed, Himmat and Yari Mola. तौफीक, ताईद, हिम्मत एंड यारी मौला। तमाम साथियों को एक बार फिर या अली मदद,
मौला अली मदद
मौला
अजीज।
अली मदद।
आमीन आमीन। We were in our last two questions and we have two more questions after that, and Kamre Sahib will tell us if there were any other question which I was not able to answer in our previous session. So we will continue with our lesson and we will answer the questions within the session. And the thoughts were, do we ever wonder? And that was the question of the day when we said that ilm is on the step and so is guidance. And what are those steps? That was the question. कि नाचीज ने कहा कि इल्म जो है वो दर्जा ब दर्जा है, और मौला ने कहा कि इल्म वाली रूह ही दर्जा ब दर्जा ऊपर जाती है. So in other words, if we said that ilm is on steps, meaning little ilm, little more ilm, and little more ilm, ilm on the top of ilm on the top of ilm. Having said that, how do we picture that? So let's take two pictures. 2 years ago, without the COVID, we had not heard of for almost whatever life we had lived up until that point, what truly ilm is. We thought we knew everything because we are born in Ismaili Tariqa, and therefore by default we have the Ginans, we have the Farman, and we have our Dua and Tasbiyat. And then some have Ismi Azam and Ibadat. And we were practicing that without knowing, without understanding, without the batin or the deeper understanding of it. And we thought we knew everything. Then to the entire world, a painful pandemic came. But where I am standing, I saw that as a blessing. Imam gave us time. Remember that time which we did not have? We were shortage of time. Mullah warned us, told us, requested, pleaded with us. Give your time and knowledge. Give your time and knowledge. Give me a nazrana of time and knowledge. Sometime verbally and mostly with our action, we were telling Mullah Baba, sorry Mullah Baba, we love you, but we don't have a time for you. If I'm wrong in my assumption, I ask for your forgiveness. Not verbally, but by our action we said, Mullah Baba, we love you, but sorry, we don't have time. We don't have time. And Mullah Baba replied, let me give you time. Let me provide the opportunity and see if you would use this time and use this opportunity to come closer to me, or would you waste this time as you have been wasting rest of your life? Some harsh but awakening words. Remember, all this was happening by default, by action, not by words. We did not see Mullah Baba send a farman like that. And we did not see that conversation. But where you sit today, inshallah, if you can see from the top, then what do you see? And I can see that. That we were having conversation on the one side, Imam, for almost, it will be 15 years soon, when Mullah Baba gave us this farman of time and knowledge. Time and knowledge. 15 years. Golden Jubilee, almost we are coming to the 65th Imamat anniversary soon. 15 years. Mullah Baba said, give me the Nazarana of time and knowledge. And we said, not with the words, with our action. We said, Mullah Baba, we don't have a time. I'm busy. Don't you see? I have a children to take care of. I have a family to take care of. I have a business to take care of. I have my stocks and bonds. I have my friends. We made any and every excuse in the book. And then we wrote some more excuses on top of that to not follow Imam's farman. Again, if you don't agree with my statement, I apologize. I ask for your forgiveness. And then Mullah says, you don't have a time? Let me give you time. And let me give you opportunity to prove my point. How many people were invited to the ilm in last 2 years? And how many are we online as we speak? And you will have to agree with me that there are still people sleeping and saying by default, Ya Mullah Baba, we love you very much, but I don't have a time for you. I don't have a time for you. Unfortunately, that has been the reply. That has been the action speaking louder than words. Because I do not see thousands upon thousands of people. I only see in hundreds. Meaning maybe 1%, only 1% gave their time when opportunity was given to the Jamaat. Only 1%. Others again said by default with their action, Mullah Baba, I don't have a time. I don't have a time. So, ilm helps us understand all of this. The importance of the ilm comes with the ilm. Those who have no understanding, no feeling of how important ilm is, because unfortunately they have never, ever have listened to the true ilm. Information? Oh my God, we love it. Our WhatsApp group, our social media, you will find millions of people. And although out of those millions of people, not only they have one social media, they may have 2, 3, 4, 5 social media. Don't believe me, look at yourself, and on your phone, you can go and look and see how much time are you giving to which social media. It will tell you. There are Google Analytics, which will tell you how many minutes and hours and what time of the day and night you are giving to social media. And then at the same time, if you use the same Google Analytics, it will tell you how many times in a day you log into Ilmi sessions. It will show you the imbalance between deen and dunya, imbalance between information and ilm. What did Mola Baba say? We are drowned. There is a flood of information around us. We must seek knowledge within. And then further, where is the wisdom in it? Where is the wisdom in it? The question again is, it is the ilm of the Imam, not this Garib and Nachiz, not mine. If you like anything out of this, if you take anything out of these sessions, always remember one thing. If it touched your heart, it is due to Imam and Imam only. And if there was anything wrong with it, then it was this Garib and Nachiz, an entire fault, shortcoming lies with this. But anything that you like and touches your heart, it is due to the Imam. So, ilm. What is the first step of ilm? You know what was the first step of ilm? Which you have taken that step when you said, I don't know anything, I'd like to learn something. When you decided that actually I don't know anything about my tariqah, I would like to learn. By saying that, you've taken the first step on the journey, on the steps of the ilm. Those of you who had listened to the lecture on the 9 pillars of Pleno Jamaat Khana, and if you would look at that line under the 9 pillars, and then you found the word written Momin under the line. So there were 9 pillars of Jamaat Khana, and then there was a line, and under the line says Momin. If we think we are Momin, we are under the line on the floor, sitting on the ground. We are not part of the pillars, the foundation of Hudud-e-Din of Jamaat Khana. We are still sitting on the floor. We never woke up. We never got up. We never took that first step to be the part of the Jamaat Khana and its structure and the part of the hierarchy of religion. But until 2 years ago, Imam gave us the time and opportunity. And what did he do? He pulled us with his akale kul, and he pulled us up. And we decided that Yamula, maybe it is time for me to pay attention to what you are asking me to do. And you can see that on your chart, from the Momin, we became Mustajib. And then Mola blessed us with a title of Da'i. And Mola asked us a question. Do you know, have you ever seen, have you ever read or paid attention to the Da'is in our history? And what did Da'i had? Ilm. Ilm. How did they become Da'i? Darja ba darja, step by step. So we went and we got up from the floor and we took the first step. From the Momin, we became Mustajib, the one who accepted and said, I don't know anything, I'd like to learn. And we took the first step and we started to learn, to listen, to join these very sessions. From Mustajib, we became Mazun. From Mazun, we became Mazun and Mutallak. More ilm, more ilm, more ilm, step by step. And then blessing came. Blessing came. And Imam said, let me pray for you. Let me give you a dua. Let me give you a title of Da'i, so you may pay attention to the ilm, because we cannot call ourselves a Da'i and have no ilm. So foundation of the ilm was that we learn what is the importance of the ilm in our tariqah. What is the subject of today's lesson? What is the subject of today's lesson? Do you see that? Importance of ilm in our tariqah. That is the subject of our tariqah, our session today. And we took the first step. And we said, yes, it is very important for us to have ilm of our tariqah. Ilm of our tariqah. And we came and we learned. And inshallah, after having the complete understanding of the importance of the ilm of our tariqah, what is the next step? To learn and understand the importance of Jamaat Khana and our rites and ritual. How many have we covered so far? We did not know anything about the importance of voluntarism, and we did not know how important it was to serve in shoe company. We learned that. That was the learning of the importance of the Jamaat Khana and all the activities in Jamaat Khana. And that was just first step, only first step. The khidmat and the khidmat of shoes company. Because just like Mustajib, who's Mustajib? The Momin who said, I do not know anything, I'm nothing, I'm Garib and Nachiz, I would like to learn something. That very Mustajib is the person in the shoes company. He's saying, I'm nothing but the dust under the shoes of the Mu'mineen coming to the Jamaat Khana. You see that? The basic foundation, humility, ajizi. I don't know anything, I'd like to learn. I'm nothing, I like to serve. They are both right there. Without the foundation, without the humility, without the AZIZ, we cannot move forward, because that's the foundation. So remember the line on the top of Momin? That was the foundation. So we moved from the floor, we got up from the floor, we woke up, we were tapped to wake up and give your time and avail this opportunity. Get on the top of the line. Don't sit on the floor. Get up on the top of the line and come and do two things. Ilm, be a mustajib. Khidmat, humility, and give a service to the Jamaat Khana, to the Jamaat, to the Imam with humility. With humility. That's the key. You can keep doing khidmat, and if there is no humility, no use. You keep learning, and if there is no humility, ilm will not sink into your heart. Did you hear that? If there is no humility, there is no humility, there is no आजिज़ी. मैं आपको उर्दू में भी समझाता चलो कि आजिज़ी के बगैर और मुस्तजीब और शूज कंपनी की सर्विस, आजिज़ी के बगैर कोई फायदा नहीं. आप कितनी भी खिदमत कर लें, आजिज़ी नहीं है तो कोई फायदा नहीं है. आप कितना भी इल्म सुन लें, आजिज़ी नहीं है तो कोई फायदा नहीं है. Ilm and khidmat both require a greater understanding, and you cannot have this understanding without ilm, ilm, ilm. So Mullah said what? 2000 Farman, Karachi, learn, learn, learn. Mullah said it 11 times. 11 times. That is where we stand today. Ilm, you cannot jump from 0 to 100. Even though we are connected, you can see here, this rope, we are connected, but we have akle garizi. Akle garizi, intellect which requires, is the needy intellect, which requires ilm step by step. So on your screen, there are two charts. One go from Dai to Hujjat to Imam, Asas, Natik, Nafsekul, Aklekul on left side. And then those steps are like this. One in the example of a rope, you go from bottom to the top. Other one in the example of a ladder. एक जगह पर रस्सी की मिसाल है कि नीचे से ऊपर जाना है. एक तरफ से सीढ़ियों की मिसाल है कि दर्जा ब दर्जा, सीढ़ी ब सीढ़ी ऊपर जाना है. अगर इमाम ने हमको दाई बनाया है तो क्या हमको यहाँ रुक जाना है या ऊपर जाना है? क्वेश्चन टू आवरसेल्फ. अगर इमाम ने हमको दाई बनाया है तो क्या हमको यहाँ पर रुक जाना है या सीढ़ी के ऊपर जाना है? मौला का फरमान, आप पीर सदरुद्दीन जैसे बन सकते हैं, आप हजरत ईसा जैसे बन सकते हैं, आप फरिश्ते जैसे बन सकते हैं, और आप उससे भी ऊपर जा सकते हैं, उससे भी ऊपर जा सकते हैं. I'd like to show you this Quran which we were reading last couple of weeks ago regarding Pir Sadruddin. This Farman on your screen. Mullah says, Pir Sadruddin was very wise and honest. You know where he was wise and honest? Pir Sadruddin बहुत ही अक्लमंद और ईमानदार थे. पता है किसमें ईमानदार थे, किसमें अक्लमंद थे? बातीन के अंदर, बातीन के इल्म के अंदर, मजहब के इल्म के अंदर, अपने ईमान के अंदर. वरना दुनिया माने तो हम बहुत ही अक्लमंद हैं. Otherwise, we consider ourselves to be wise when it comes to the worldly matters. But Pir Sadruddin was wise, true and honest in batin, in the ilm batin and the amal batin, in the knowledge of the mazhab and the practice of the mazhab. That's how he was wise. If we are following पीर पुछिने चालवानो, अगर हम पीर के पीछे 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 चल रहे हैं, if we are following on the footstep of the peer, then what our action should be? We should see what he had done, how he had done it. How did he become so wise? Because he was on the footstep of the Imam, and that is the same rope and the same letter, this one that he followed. And look where he came from. He was a Mu'min, then he went up to the Da'i, and he became the Peer. This is where he was. He became the Peer right here. You see, that's the path he followed. And that's what made him Aqalmand, Hushyar, wise, because he followed the path of ilm and he took the journey of these steps. From Mu'min, he became Mazun, became Dai, and became Peer. That's the path he followed. So that is the answer to your question, that what are the steps to understand the importance of ilm, understand the importance of Jamaat Khana, the batin of the Jamaat Khana, and the rites and ritual. And there are hundreds of lectures available on the very subject. Give your time and knowledge to Imam as he has given you the farman of. If you do that, you will find yourself on these steps. You will see how Imam will pull you on this rope, how Imam will guide you with his intellect. Because you have to do one thing, get up from the floor, wake up. This is a call for you to wake up. Imam has given you time and opportunity to do so. You are so fortunate. You are so fortunate that you were able to listen. You heard the calling. Otherwise, 99% has still not learned or have answered the calling. Consider yourself lucky, fortunate that you have answered the calling. All right, let's go and see the 3 level. This will tell you how do we move step by step higher. As all of you know, and I know most of you are very educated, and wise, अकलमंद भी है, पढ़े लिखे भी है, आप जानते हैं सब। लेकिन यहाँ पर हम हर चीज को 3 के अंदर समझेंगे, step by step. You are wise, you are educated, but what I like you to do is pay attention how everything is on 3 steps. Everything on 3 steps. If you take the ilm shanasi, jamaat khana shanasi, imam shanasi. If you take the ilm. But here, let's learn from the bottom up. Let's take our own self, human body. We have 3 things. As a human, we have 3 beings. इंसान के अंदर 3 चीजें आपको मिलेंगी। हमारी 3 जिंदगियां हैं जो हम एक साथ जीते हैं। We live on 3 steps as a human: a physical, a spiritual and intellectual. हमारा एक जिस्म है, हमारी एक रूह है, हमारी एक अक्ल है। We are on 3 levels. What did you notice on this chart? I did not put physical on the bottom, I put the physical on top. Did you notice that? This chart is upside down, and you will see why. We have a 3 being, 3 living: physical, spiritual and intellectual. And you noticed that I put physical on top. This chart is upside down. It should be the other way around. Physical should be on the bottom. But no, I put physical on top, and there's a reason for that. Because we, as a human, remember यहाँ पर इंसान की बात हो रही है, इंसान अपने फिजिकल को पहले देखता है और सिर्फ फिजिकल को ही देखता है। We as a human, we see our physical first. Matter of fact, we normally stop at physical. We give top priority to physical. That's why I put the physical on top, because that is our top priority. Am I right or am I wrong? You be the judge. We look at our body. We work 22 hours for our body. We worry all day long about our body. Even when we are in Jamaat Khana, we do everything physically. If I'm wrong, please tell me. If I'm right, then let's work on it and see what can we do to change that. That's why I put physical on top, because that is our top priority. That's all we see. We have no action to speak otherwise. इसलिए फिजिकल को ऊपर रखा गया, क्योंकि हम सिर्फ जिस्म को देखते हैं और हर काम जिस्म के लिए करते हैं। खाना पीना, सोना, आराम, यहाँ तक कि जब हम जमात खाने भी जाते हैं तो हम फिजिकली दुआ पढ़ते हैं, हर चीज फिजिकली करते हैं और उससे ऊपर नहीं जा पाते। Ask yourself, when was the last time when you thought about your soul, about your spirit, about the other world, about dying and going to the other side? How many times? When was the last time? You see, I am going to be honest in my teaching, because as a human nature, as a human, we are only and only thinking of our body, 22 hours a day. And those who are thinking 3 hours a day, otherwise, meaning they are giving a full hour in evening. How many of us do that? How many gives a full hour in the evening? I'm being honest here. How many gives full 2 hour, 3:30 to 5:30 in the morning? I'm being honest here. 3 hour, if we are lucky, we give to the other than physical. Otherwise, 22 hour for the body, jism, खाना पीना, मेरे बच्चे, मेरी फैमिली, मेरे दोस्त, मेरा काम, मेरे पैसे, मेरा घर, मेरी गाड़ी. Unmute and tell me I'm wrong. No, let's be honest so we can learn from it. So human are on the 3 level: physical, spiritual, and intellectual. We have a body, we have a soul, and we have a mind. The reason of this upside down chart is that most we give to the body, maybe a little bit to the soul, and hardly anything to the mind. The mind, the ilm, once a week, 1 hour. Maybe twice a week, 2 hours for the mind. Daily, let's say 2-3 hours for the soul. Baki, 7 days a week, 22 hours for the body. Did I do a justice and I was honest in making this chart correctly? Again, what did Mullah say about Pir Sadruddin? He was wise, truth, and intellectual, because he thought of the batin. And then Mullah said, you can be like Pir Sadruddin too. He was human just like you. He had 2 hands and 2 feet and 2 eyes and 2 ears. He was eating. There's no difference between you and him. What is stopping you? You know what is stopping you? Because we could not see anything further than our physical body. To prove that point, I would like to show you the second chart. Our prayers, our ibadat, our bandagi. Again, we are talking about 3 hours, right? Entire 3 hours, if you take that, you will find we are doing everything physically. Dua, tasbih, the son, bandagi, ibadat, everything is done physically. Then sometime we get that small 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and we think of our soul spiritually, ibadat in true sense, with a meaning, understanding, concentration, connecting. But how many minutes out of the 3 hours? Why am I asking this question? So we can ask ourselves question. Because we are here to learn. And you have given me permission to jolt you, to wake you up. Wake up, my brother and sister, my elders. Wake up. Let's go inside. Let's follow Pir's example. Let's follow our Imam. He has given his whole life for your elevation. Can we give him our attention? Can we give him 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 3 hours daily, but not physically, but spiritually and intellectually. Not only physically. Physical, we are doing it. We are doing a great job. But spiritually and intellectually, can we give him our attention? You see, even our prayers are physical, and that's why I put that on top. Because our entire focus, if I ask you to unmute and start telling me, you will proudly tell me, oh, me? તમે તો મારી વાત જ મૂકી દો. હું તો મારી દુઆ 7:30 વાગે પઢું. તમે તો મારી વાત જ ના કરો. જ્યારે દુઆનો ટાઈમ આવે, હું બધું મૂકી દઉં ને દુઆ પઢું. મારી તો કાંઈ વાત જ ના થાય. દુઆ તો હું ક્યારે ચૂકું જ નહીં. Wouldn't that be the statement if I ask you to unmute? Let's be like Peace Adadin. Let's be wise and truth to ourselves and look at our inside the batin. Even our prayers, mostly, if we are lucky, we may have 5, 10, 15 minutes of concentration, ibadat, bandagi. And when it comes to ilm, we have left that for 1 hour a week. How many of us honestly have taken this recording, and there are thousands of recording, and would listen on the weekdays, later on today, later on tomorrow, later on next day? How many have given 1 hour a day, not once a week, 1 hour a day to ilm? How many have given 2 hours a day to ibadat? And how many have given 3 hours a day for total prayers? Self-reflection. Ilm will put the light on that. Ilm is the light with which we can understand if we have done that or not. Let's come to the food. Just like we have a physical food, nourishment, dua is our spiritual food every day. Just like we have a food for our physical body, dua is our food for our soul. But for our physical. So dua, when we say, હું તો દુઆ ના ચૂકું, મારી તો કાંઈ વાત જ ના થાય. હું તો 7:30 વાગે દુઆ પઢું પૂરા. ના 1 સેકન્ડ આગળ, ના 1 સેકન્ડ પાછળ. મારી તો કાંઈ વાત જ ના થાય. હું તો punctual છું દુઆમાં. When we say that, are we talking about physical action? Bound by the watch. This watch is telling you when and when not to remember your Mullah, not your heart. Your heart is not telling you when to remember your Mullah. Your watch is telling you when to remember Mullah. Physical. I would like you, and I will share this with you, to give a thought. Take this chart. Make this chart your learning point. And I would take another 15-20 minutes to talk about the food. And I'm going to just give it that, and then I will stop today's session. So you have time to eat and regurgitate. Food for the thought. What do we tell our kids when they are on the dinner table? What do we tell our kids? Beta, slowly eat. Bite your food. Gurgitate. Don't just take the bite and throw it inside, because if you do that, it will harm your tummy. You will not receive any energy from that food. There is no nutrition if you do not chew your food correctly and completely. We say that? Do we all agree with that? Now, let me ask you a question. How many times have you taken your dua, your ibadat, and the ilm and have gurgitated it? How many times have you tried to learn what is the nutrition and energy inside the dua? How many times have you taken the nutrition and the energy from ibadat? How many times have we learned the batin of our tariqah? How many times have we paid attention to the ilm and regurgitated, chew on it? How many times? With this note, I will stop my session, my talk today. And we will continue from this right there. Food for the physical is dua. Food for the spiritual, your soul, is ibadat. Food for your mind, your intellect, is ilm. I will stop right here, so you can answer your question and yourself. And when we come back, we'll start right here. And this is due to your question, which you had asked last week, that we are talking about this. Inshallah, Ali Allah, the Imam-e-Zaman, Mola Bapa, our loving father and mother, is truly merciful on our soul. And with his rahmat, we will progress step by step by step. G.
Subhanallah, sir, Subhanallah. Friends, if you have any questions, please share in the chat room. Sir, I don't see any question in the chat at this time. Friends, please unmute your device if you have any question.
Don't be shy. You can unmute and ask anything you like. Or you can just tell me what you learned today. A comment.
याली मदद सर
Yali Madad.
सर कमेंट है, आज क्वेश्चन नहीं है कि आप
जी।
जो समझा है ना फिजिकल स्पिरिचुअल और इंटेलेक्ट, तो मैं इतना सुनती थी आपकी क्लासेस, समझ में भी आता था, लेकिन फिर भी दिमाग में कहीं ना कहीं एक क्वेश्चन था कि सोल से बड़ा इंटेलेक्ट कैसा हो सकता है। मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि सोल बड़ा होना चाहिए, यस यू नो, लेकिन आज आपने ये जो तीनों अलग अलग करके समझाए और इस तरीके से जो आपने ये जो स्पेशली फिजिकल स्पिरिचुअल में ह्यूमन वर्ल्ड, एंजेलिक वर्ल्ड एंड डिवाइन वर्ल्ड जो समझाए सर, तो ये इतना अच्छे से आज समझ में आया। और ये भी आप जो समझाते थे हमेशा आलमे नासूत, मलकूत और जबरूत, इसमें भी मुझे बहुत कंफ्यूजन रहता था, लेकिन आज ये भी बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आया सर। थैंक यू सर,
Shukran.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Shukar Alhamdulillah. Shukar Alhamdulillah.
याली मदद सर।
याली मदद सर।
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
सर लास्ट डे मैंने क्वेश्चन किया था बीबी फातिमा की तस्बीह है। Are you saying
Ji.
tomorrow I will give you answer?
Ji. So thank you for reminding me. At the end of last week's
Thank you.
session, yes, My sister had asked that how do we understand Bibi Fatima Tasbih? One. Second, was that a Isme Azam? And third,
Yes.
how do we take that? That was her question.
Yes,
And look at
sir,
how
because
clear
you are telling me,
it is.
yes, sir, because you are telling me it's a Isme Azam. So if it's Isme Azam, so why it disclosed there? And why we should use to Satara Tasbih in physical मुश्किल आसान, in soul के लिए होती है, किसके लिए होती है?
G. Yes. So you see a lot of question within this one question. So सबसे पहले ये सवाल होना चाहिए कि हमको कैसे पता चले कि ये इसमें आजम था, राइट? हमको कैसे पता चले कि ये इसमें आजम था? क्योंकि
सर ये भी चीज
इमाम,
representative,
जी जी मैं जवाब दे रहा हूँ,
sorry sir,
जब इमाम अपने मुख मुबारक से हमको जो भी कलमा देते हैं, जो भी कलीमा देते हैं, जो भी वर्ड देते हैं, वो हमारे लिए इसमें आजम का दर्जा रखता है। नाचीज ने अपने एक सेशन के अंदर ये अर्ज की थी, जब किसी साथी ने कहा कि मैं बहुत पीछे रह गया और अनफॉर्चुनेटली मैं इसमें आजम लेने के लिए नहीं गया, तो नाचीज ने उसको दिलासा दिलाया। And I will come back to English. Don't worry about it. I will explain those in English. So नाचीज ने उसको दिलासा दिलाया कि क्या तुमने इमाम के इस फरमान को नहीं सुना, पढ़ा, जहां पर मौला ने कहा था कि जब आपके पास वक्त हो तो आप अल्लाह का नाम लो, आप मोहम्मद का नाम लो, आप अली का नाम लो, आप जिस भी इमाम का नाम चाहे ले लो। उसने कहा हाँ मैंने ये सुना था। तो मैंने कहा देखो, इमाम के दो तरीके हैं इसमें आजम देने के, एक है डायरेक्टली, एक है इनडायरेक्टली। जब हम विलिंगली जाते हैं बोल लेने के लिए तो इमाम हमको डायरेक्टली, पर्सनली एंड इंडिविजुअली इसमें आजम देता है। लेकिन जब हम नहीं चाहते हैं तो इमाम कंबाइनली, वॉइसफुली, अक्लमंदी के साथ, कंबाइनली और दबे अल्फाजों के अंदर इसमें आजम देता है। तो पहला इसमें आजम लो या अल्लाह, दूसरा इसमें आजम लो या मोहम्मद, तीसरा इसमें आजम लो या अली, चौथे इसमें आजम तो बहुत ज्यादा है, किसी भी इमाम का नाम ले लो, हर इमाम का नाम इसमें आजम है। कुरान में देख लें आपको ये बात, सूरा नंबर 7 आयत नंबर 180 के अंदर देख लें आप कि तमाम खूबसूरत नाम अल्लाह ही के हैं और इमाम लिविंग नेम अल्लाह का है। Let's in English, then there is still more question. What she was asking and what I was trying to explain is, first, how do we know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had given the Isme Azam to Bibi Fatima alayhi salam? Every word, every ism which comes out of and when they utter a word, a kalima, a name of Allah, that becomes Isme Azam. Yaad rakhe, remember Prophet Muhammad had given her blessing and had given her a word. Just like Imam yesterday came during the Didar and Betul Kyal and gave us Dua Shish and gave us a word. That's how we know that that is Isme Azam. Isme Azam are given directly in Betul Kyal. Isme Azam are given indirectly combinedly to the Jamaat. If we believe that every word, ism, Imam speaks with his Mubarak mouth, with his tongue, is like a Isme Azam for a Mu'min, if you believe. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. If you believe, then Imam has given us multiple Isme Azam to the entire Jamaat. And individually, privately, and personally, he has given us one Isme Azam when we went for Baitul Qiyam. Second question, how do we recite this? And then other question was why? How do we recite that? If you have the ilm and the understanding, then you will recite the Bibi Fatima Tasbih this way. You will say, Ya Rasulullah, if your daughter was fortunate enough to receive a kalima, Isme Azam, with your blessing, then I'm with Bibi Fatima, I'm behind Bibi Fatima, reciting this Isme Azam. Please bless me with the same blessing, dua ashish, which Bibi Fatima received from you. In other words, you are saying, Atiullah wa Atiu Rasul. I am following you as Bibi Fatima followed you. And if we understand this, then when you get up in the tasbih and you say, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, I'm telling you, if you understand this, there is no way you will not have tears in your eyes. There is no way that you will not cry, because that Isme Azam will touch your heart, your soul, your mind. And when the shower of the blessing comes, you will have tears in your eyes. That's how you're supposed to recite Isme Azam. If you understand that is Isme Azam, if you understand Bibi Fatima's Tasbih. Now the last one, why and how. The Bibi Fatima Tasbih is Tasbih to the common. You don't have to be smiley. You know that, right? Bibi Fatima Tasbih is common for all. You don't have to be smiley. For Ismailis, with the Imam and Imam's ilm and understanding and the blessing of the Imam, this very tasbih can be a Isme Azam for us Garib and Nachis. क्योंकि बीबी फातिमा की तस्वीर तो सबके लिए है, आपको इस्माइली होने की जरूरत नहीं है बीबी फातिमा की तस्वीर पढ़ने के लिए, बल्कि हमसे भी ज्यादा बीबी फातिमा की तस्वीर दूसरे नॉन इस्माइली मुस्लिम पढ़ते हैं. हम तो महीने में शायद एक दफा चांदरात को पढ़ते हैं, कभी कभार दिल चाहे तो पढ़ लेते हैं इधर उधर. हमसे भी ज्यादा वो लोग पढ़ते हैं. अगर आप इमाम के इल्म के साथ, अंडरस्टैंडिंग के साथ, बातीन के साथ बीबी फातिमा की तस्बीह को समझ कर पढ़ते हैं, तो यही तस्बीह आपके लिए इसमें आजम का काम करेंगी. और आपकी दुनिया की मुश्किल क्या है? Nachis was talking yesterday. Honestly, I don't know why we are so much focused on worldly hardship. I can guarantee you, when you die, all your worldly hardship will go away. We should be worried about our spiritual hardship. We should be worried about our intellectual hardship, because that one, if we have now removed, will last for 50,000 years. You think you are in trouble today? You are having hard time today? No. This is just a teller, a blink is just to show you what hardship is. And this hardship will guarantee will end when you die. If you are doing Bibi Fatma Tasbih for your worldly mushkil asan, be my guest. But if you are with the intellect, अगर आप अक्लमंद है तो बीवी फातिमा की तस्वीर पढ़े अपनी रूह की मुश्किल आसान के लिए, आपकी रूह की तरक्की के लिए, आपकी अक्ल की मुश्किल आसान के लिए, आपकी अक्ल की तरक्की के लिए, आपको ऊपर जाने के लिए ये इसमें आजम पढ़ने चाहिए. लेकिन free will I cannot take. Imam cannot take your free will. You do what you do. You be you. If you wanted to use this great spiritual Isme Azam for your worldly, temporary, and measly, little bit tiny Mushkil Asan of 100 years, be my guest. There is no problem. कोई मसला नहीं है इसमें, कोई आपको नहीं रोकता है. अक्लमंदी किसमें है? If you are giving $1, if you are giving ₹1, and if you had the choice of selecting a dust, or you have a choice of collecting the gold, which one will you take? Tell me. Will you take for your $1 a dust or the gold? Choice is yours. You have the choice. Free will. And remember, I cannot take that away from you. I cannot teach you that either. Imam cannot take that away from you. And he cannot teach you that either. It is you have to decide where our focus is. If you are still looking at the screen, look. Are you looking for the physical? Are you still doing them? Or are you have you moved on to the spiritual and intellectual? Does this answer your question, my sister?
Yari Madad,
Yeah, Ali Madad.
this is a comment. I'm just making a comment, and I'm hoping that this comment will help other people on this chat as well. So you are so right, first of all, that COVID-19 gave personally me the time that I didn't have before. And I have been on these ILM sessions for the past since 2020. And for that, I'm very grateful. I have learned so much. I have learned more than I have learned in my life. I'm 57 years old right now. What I can tell you is that Imam, what he gives us, he knows. And in my experience, I had to learn how to integrate that integration into my daily life. Through your ilm, I have learned how to do that. So it's not impossible. Is it challenging? Yes, it can be. But example, when I'm doing stuff for myself around the house, or I have my Apple earpods in and I'm listening, to either some sort of ilm or in whatever I need to do to connect to that part of me. So I have learned to do that. And through that, I have gained immense happiness. And I cannot thank you for all those people who have been teaching all of us through COVID-19. And now life is pretty much getting back to normal. Is it challenging? It can be, but if you already developed a practice through COVID-19, you continue that practice and you refine it and refine it and refine it. So even if I'm washing dishes, I have something going. Sometimes I take a break, but mostly I've simplified my life. I think that's the key. You must simplify your life as much as possible to make room to have a balance. And I think simplicity is the key to help keep the balance. Have I lost the balance sometimes? Yes, I've gone very much into spiritual, and then my worldly life has suffered. And there is definitely a balance. You know, I was going to Parayakane so much, and working full time that I was exhausted. So I learned from that I can't do everything. I have to choose. I have to simplify. I have to find my practices and keep and refine them. So I want to say to you and to everybody on this line that it is possible. And Imam is so forgiving and he's so merciful. He only wants to know that you love him. Doesn't matter. He's not looking for you to kill yourself. I don't think that he is looking to see that you have your niyat and you practice as much as possible and keep your balance, which is what he tells you, deen and dunya, keep balance. And I just want to say it's possible, it's doable, and it brings immense happiness. So I want to thank you and everybody else who has been teaching over the last 2 years and more.
Thank you. Ji.
Sir, we have a couple of questions from the yesterday's session.
Ji.
The first one is friends asking, can you explain the Ruhani Masti?
Ji. Ruhani Masti. So one of the Farman Mullah says कि मोमिन हमेशा खुशी मा वोई छे सुकामे के ई नूरानी मस्ती मा वोई छे. A momin is always happy because he is intoxicated in the nurani masti. That is the farman. When you have one batini understanding, intellectual understanding, and when you apply that to your soul, and when your soul is elevated, even a teeny weeny little bit, then you starts to remain happy, content within yourself. No worldly hardship bothers you. No worldly hardship bothers you. May it be the hardship of money, time, work, family, home. Nothing bothers you because you understand that nothing matters which is physical. Nothing will last which is physical. And what is everlasting is your soul. And because you took that to the next step, only one step higher, and you understand that, then that happiness no one can take away from you. No one can take away from you. And therefore, you are intoxicated in the nur and the light and the understanding at the highest level, intellectual level. G.
Sir, we had another question from yesterday. So you talked about in the Farman of Hazimam that open your heart. So friends asking, Imam also says this in Farman that open your ear, open your ears, open your soul, open your entire being. So can you explain that? Open your entire being.
G. How will you open your heart without opening your eyes and your ears and your thoughts? Take those three things. Meaning, your ears are the door to your batin, to your heart. Your eyes are also the door to your batin, your heart. And your thoughts are also the door to your heart. अगर हम ये बात समझ गए कि दिल खोलने के लिए पहले हमको कान खोलने पड़ेंगे, क्योंकि अगर हम किसी का सुनते ही नहीं है तो हमारा दिल बंद हो जाएगा. When we listen to the ilm, to the Gnan, to the Imam, that's the door, right? Then we can open our heart. And in Ibadat, opening the heart means never ever lose hope. Open your heart. दिल खुला रखें, दिल भरा रखें. Trust me, everything ठीक हो जाएगा. That's what opening the heart means. Never ever lose hope, faith, iman. That's what open the heart means. How do you do that? Through the ears, through the eyes, through the thoughts. G.
Sir, we have another question. I think friends asking, can we get tested in the dream?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Most definitely. देखें, I'm going to just give you some generic example. You find yourself in your dream flying, happy, green, on the mountain, rain, light, versus in the gutter, dirty water, darkness, hardship, running. Especially you see yourself in a car, there is no brake. In your car is going in reverse. You are running and you cannot make it. You are falling. All this is a test. That's a test. So what does one do to the other? When you have those kind of dream, which will make you happy. And what is your test? Do you give shukrana? Do you try to understand your dream? Do you try to follow your dream? Or in the other word, when you see the other kind of dream, which makes you unhappy, do you follow your dream? Do you learn from it? Do you give shukrana? Do you ask for forgiveness? That is the test. Yes, definitely, dream can be a test for the mu'mineen. Bottom line, punchline, with ilm. Those who have no ilm, how would they understand dream? So test is for those who take the test, understand, and resolved. So when you have an unhappy dream, you ask for forgiveness, learn from it, and do the right thing. When you have a good dream, you give shukrana, learn from it, and do even better. Test, test, test. G.
Sir, another question. If one does not have any dreams, is something wrong? What can be done?
All right, I'm going to fix that question. That is not possible that someone does not have a dream. The question should be, if I cannot remember my dream, or if I feel that I don't have a dream. You see that? Everyone has dream. Those who do not remember, or those who cannot understand. Meaning the question should be, if I cannot remember my dream, or I don't feel I have a dream, what should be done? What should be done? Actually, there is a dua in the Quran that says, Ya Allah, give me the happiness in my sleep. Make my sleep blessing for me. How can sleep be blessing for a moment? Because in the sleep, he may dream, and in his dream, he can learn. See this learning today? You can have same learning in your dream. same learning in your dream. Make my sleep blessing for me. And pray, ask Mola Papa to give me a tawfiq and ta'id to remember my dream and to learn from my dream. Because we do not waste our sleep. No, learning from the creed to the grave. And between the creed and the grave, remember we are awake and we are asleep. You learn, and you learn. When you are awake, when you are asleep. We do not waste our time sleeping. Meaning even in sleep we learn. G.
So we don't have any question in the chat. Friends, please unmute your device if you have any questions.
So I have a question.
G.
Based on earlier when you were talking about, we know that the Isme Azam is a living Isme Azam in the sense that each Imam and Imams are considered as the living Isme Azam. I'm wondering that why sometimes we, from my perspective, I think we put this emphasis, of course, and rightly so, on receiving Isme Azam and bowl from the Imam physically. And what I'm saying is in no way should be taken as reducing the importance of that. On the contrary, I think all of these sessions, all of our knowledge should do nothing but increase the importance of that ceremony or that ritual or that initiation. But that being said, sometimes when someone says something like they did not take Ismi Azam or they did not take the bowl at that time because for whatever reason, either they didn't feel ready or something like that, and then many years have gone by, 10, 20, 30 years are going by, and they feel like they were regretting it, they did not take it. I'm wondering, why do we sort of endorse this idea that it was missed opportunity and now there's a regret in not taking it, rather than thinking that those who decide maybe later, oh, I should have done this, that the door is not closed, meaning that if one feels this hunger or feels this thirst for the Ismi Azam or the knowledge, and they're practicing, couldn't they just increase their knowledge of Imam and do the ibadat with the Imam's name? And with that understanding, it would become like Ismi Azam for them, rather than feeling like I should have. Shouldn't this be the thought process that it's not necessarily the of course the physical event is very important, but if one, like in Pandit Juan Murdi, it says that with when a Mormon has yaqeen and pure heart and pure mind is searching for the Imam's didar above all other desires, that Imam will give him a chance of didar wherever he may find himself in the world. So I'm just curious about that could we not emphasize this idea that Imam is the living Ismi Azam?
Okay. To answer your question, I'm going to take multiple approaches. The first one, and rightly so, if it is possible, when you go to the Imam with your own will, your own free will, and say, Ya Mullah, I would like to elevate my soul. I worry about my soul. I wanted to not so much give my time to the world. I wanted to dedicate an hour or two to elevate my soul. Then Imam with his blessing gives you Isme Azam. So what is Isme Azam? If you listen to some of the lectures, and there are many on Isme Azam and Ibadat, you will learn one thing. And I'm going to tell you this. It may, even if you have listened to this before, may come shock to you. It is not about the Isme Azam. I know. So how dare you talk about both? But I'm saying with the understanding and with the help of the light. It is not about the Isme Azam. It is about the Imam's blessing that comes with Isme Azam, that gives you the light. You know you don't need Imam, right? You can go to Quran and pick your own Ismi Azam. What you cannot do is get the blessing with that Ismi Azam. So now you understand where I'm coming from? It is not about the Ismi Azam, but it is about the Khana Wadan, the blessing, the Dua Ashish that comes with Ismi Azam that will give you the light, the Nur, the Didar. So when you have opportunity, go to Imam. Show your willingness, show your dedication, show your commitment to the Imam. So may Imam bless you. Having said that, let's come to the second part of your question, or three different levels. As a Ismaili, we believe in Imam and Imam's Farman. When Imam gives you a name in the Farman, as a true follower of the Imam, that should be your cue, that should be your Ismi Azam. That was the second level, and I agree with you that you can receive the Ismi Azam other than Betul Khayal. If you cannot do that, if you have not done that, don't worry. Don't worry. Imam is merciful to all. He have arranged for you to have Ismi Azam when you did not even know, when you did not even ask, when you didn't even think of. He thought about you. He is your merciful father and mother. He thought about you and your soul. You did not think, he thought about you. So he gave you this Ismi Azam. That's the second. Now let's come on third level. Ilm, ilm, and ilm. Because even if you have the Ismi Azam from the Imam directly, if you have Ismi Azam from the Imam indirectly, if you don't have a ilm, what are you going to do with that Ismi Azam? I told you I was going to shock you today. What are you going to do with the Ismi Azam if you don't understand the Ismi Azam due to lack of knowledge? What are you going to do with Ibadat if you don't know the batin of it, lack of knowledge? Ilm should come first, then practice of Ibadat, then Ismi Azam, and then we reverse back. We revert back. Ismi Azam, Ibadat, Ilm. You see, all goes hand in hand. All goes hand in hand. You rightly quoted the Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi. And I would like to challenge this group because we love Imam, we love Ilm, we like to understand. How many of you have book Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi? Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi is the encyclopedia of Ismaili Tariqa. If you wanted to know any question, any answer, you will find it in Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi. If you want to know if you are Mu'min or not, if you wanted to gauge yourself, the answer is in Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi. If you want to know you are believer or not believer, answer is in Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi. If you wanted to recognize the Imam, answer is in Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi. You wanted to know how to pray, answer is in Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi. If you want to know who's your friend, who's your enemy, answer is in Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi. I can go on and on and on. Encyclopedia of Ismaili Tariqa. How many of you on this line right now have Pir Pindyate Jawam Mardi in your position? See, that is the encyclopedia of Ismaili Tariqa, a Bible for Ismailis. That is a Bible for Ismailis. G. Thank you, Kyal. Great comment and question. Thank you.
Yali Madad Aziz sir, I got a
Yeah,
comment
Ali Madad.
on a similar line that you explained the importance of Isme Azam, and so did Khayal. If that understanding and Tawil is there, then I think it was Rumi who said that when that happens, every day is Nowruz and every
Subhanallah.
night is Laylatul Qadr for a true
Subhanallah.
moment, and he doesn't have to wait for one day of the year to seek his Lord, and every night and every day he will have the lika of his Lord. That's it.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah, Dr. Sahib. Thank you. Ilm is the light who can show you where is Nowruz, where is Laylatul Qadr, who is Nowruz, who is Laylatul Qadr, how do we get to Nowruz, and how do we progress in Laylatul Qadr. Without the ilm, and I'm not going to say anything, I'm going to quote Mola Baba's Farman. ilm wali रूह दर्जा ब दर्जा ऊपर जाती है. It did not say ibadat wali रूह. ilm wali रूह will rise step by step. Ilm, ilm, ilm. Ji. And thank you, Kamre Sahib. I see Kamre Sahib has Peer Bindal Jawamardi in 4 languages: English, Urdu, Persian, and Gujarati. Ji.
याली मदद सर
Ali Madad.
एक क्वेश्चन अभी सिस्टर ने भी बोला था, लाइक अगर हमारे पास लाइक टाइम कम है, जॉब और वर्क और घर जमात खाना, तो लाइक अगर हम मॉर्निंग जमात खाना स्किप कर सकते हैं, इंस्टेड ऑफ जमात खाने में जाके बंदगी करने के घर पे कर सकते हैं क्या? इसमें मतलब कुछ वो गुनाह तो नहीं है? जो बेनिफिट हमको जमात खाने में मिल सकते हैं वो घर पे नहीं मिल सकते हैं, बट मतलब जमात खाना अटेंड करना इतना इम्पोर्टेंस है, अगर हम स्किप करें और घर पे वो सारी सेरेमनीज कर लेंगे.
तो माय सिस्टर, इसके मल्टीपल आंसर हो सकते हैं, मल्टीपल आंसर. ओके, आप कितने मर्तबा कहते हैं मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, मैं खाना नहीं खाती हूँ? आई थिंक आई ऑलरेडी आंसर योर क्वेश्चन. कितनी मर्तबा मैं कहता हूँ कि आज मैं शावर नहीं लूंगा, टाइम नहीं है. आज मैं काम पर नहीं जाऊंगा, टाइम नहीं है. आज मैं बच्चों को स्कूल नहीं भेजूंगा, टाइम नहीं है. आज तो मैं टीवी भी नहीं देखूंगा, बातें भी नहीं करूंगा, टाइम नहीं है. कितनी मर्तबा बोलते हैं हम? जीरो टाइम बोलते हैं. लेकिन जब जमात खाने का आता है तो मैंने अर्ज की ना कि जितने भी हमारे एक्सक्यूजेज है ना, वो सब हमने किताबों से निकाल के यूज कर लिया है, और उसके ऊपर दूसरे खुद भी लिख लिए हैं थोड़े से. देखें, आज मैं थका हुआ हूँ, जमात खाने नहीं जाऊंगा. आज मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, जमात खाने नहीं जाऊंगा. आज मेरे घर पे मेहमान आए हैं, मैं जमात खाने नहीं जाऊंगा. आज ठंडी बहुत है, आज गर्मी बहुत है, आज बारिश हो रही है, आज मेरा पाँव दर्द हो रहा है, आज मेरी कमर दर्द हो रही है, मैं जमात खाने नहीं जाऊंगा. ठीक है. नाउ आपके दूसरे क्वेश्चन पर आते हैं, और वो क्या था कि क्या घर में बैठने से गुनाह होता है? नहीं, इबादत तो इबादत है. इबादत में गुनाह कैसा हो सकता है? जमात खाने जाने का फायदा ये था कि मेरी इबादत तो कमजोर है, हो सकता है कि वहां पर कोई भगत बैठा होगा, उसकी इबादत तो उसके नूर के कांटे जो है ना वो मेरे पर गिरेंगे. ये फायदा था जमात खाने जाने का, कि जब वो इबादत करेगा और उस पर नूर की बारिश होगी तो मुझ गरीब पर भी कुछ नूर के छींटे गिरेंगे. ये फायदा था जमात खाने जाने का. अदरवाइज you can do ibadat 24 hours a day, you can do ibadat at home, you can do ibadat in a bus, in your car, at your work, while you're walking, while you're sleeping. But the benefit of going to Jamaat Khana was that since we are poor and we cannot do the ibadat, successfully, so then we are taking the help from a mu'min who is sitting in the Jamaat Khana, successfully performing ibadat in Ismi Azam. So when Imam bless him or her with his nur, then some of the nur will shine on me too. आप समझ गए क्यों जरूरी है और क्यों जरूरी नहीं है? Do your ibadah, that's important. Where you do, that is the second part. Going to Jamaat Khana takes qurbani, dedication. Ji.
Thank you.
I would say listen to those lecture on ibadat and Ismi Azam. It will help you a great deal understand the ibadat and Ismi Azam and the importance of and how to do ibadat. Ji.
अजीज भाई,
जी.
हमारे पास मौला का फरमान है, इंग्लिश में है, गुजराती में भी है, मगर हम पढ़ते भी है, but it is not possible to know the exact meaning of that. हमारे पास इल्म भी है, हम तुम्हारे पास इल्म लेते हैं, we attend your lectures, but yet आज भी मैं अगर फरमान पढ़ूं, तो I'm not going to be able to understand the exact exoteric meaning of that फरमान. Now, आप also बोलते हैं कि ये जवाब मर्जी है, if I go through that book, but am I going to understand the meaning in that book as well? Because Abibi, I don't think I have that much ilm that I can understand Mawla's Farman. So how am I going to understand this book as well? See?
Very good question, Mohammed Bhai. Very good question. But the first part, what is the initial part? Niyat, right? When you do the niyat of reading a farman, to listen to farman. So same token, someone can say, even if I listen to all the farman and listen to all the lecture, I'm not able to understand. So, but what did you do? You made an intention. आपने नियत की पहले. जब आपने नियत की ना, तो 50% आपका काम आसान हो गया. कि कम से कम इमाम ने आपकी नियत को कबूल कर लिया. So when you read the farman, prayers are important. I'm going to tell you something which I don't like to talk about normally, okay? I do not like to talk about this normally. Why do we start our session with prayers? Have you ever asked question to yourself? Why do we start our session with the prayers? Because it is the prayers that which will help you, right? It is a prayer that helps us teach and learn.
Yes.
If you pick up the Farman book without any dua, nothing coming out of that paper. The paper is just a paper, and those words are just the words. Pray, pray, गिरियावजारी. Imam से मदद मांगे. Don't be shy. We are nothing. Ya Mola, I'm just a child. Unknown, lost, illiterate child. Mola Baba, help me. Help me understand what you are telling me in this Farman. Use your Ismi Azam to understand the Farman. Use your Tasbih to understand Farman. Use your Dua, prayers to understand Farman. You will see the Farman will open. You will see the underlined words which are not even written there. You will see the Batin. Imam will teach you. Prayers, Niyat, Giryadari, humility, Ajizi. Use that tool. I'm going to say one more thing and then I will stop and then I'll let you go further. The days which I do not pray and think I know everything, I'm telling you, I have a hard time in these classes. The days Imam's mercy, the blessing is with me, I have a good time. I feel good, I feel happy, and I can see all of you have learned something. So what does that tell you? Imam's help, when it's with you, everything is possible. And I pray for you too, that Mullah will teach you when you read. Initially, do the niyat, do some tasbih, some kriya udari. As for his help, he will teach you.
Ameen,
And
ameen.
then ask question. When you're reading that book, if you come to the page where you have a question, mark it down, send it to us. As a group, we will tackle it. Ji.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shukran, shukran. Ameen.
Ameen, ameen. Ji.
सर एक क्वेश्चन पूछ सकती हूँ फरमान से मुतालिक है
जी।
मैंने काफी मतलब लोगों से बात की है कि कहते हैं कि सुल्तान बादशाह का फरमान है ना कि वो किताब नमाज रोजा और बंदगी को जाता है वो ये किताब रोजा नमाज और बंदगी को जाता है वो उम्मीद आजादी की रखता है तो आजादी मीन्स जो हमारा मकसद है फना होना तो क्या
हेलो, आपकी आवाज बंद हो
तो
गई है।
मतलब बंदगी भी आजादी में आ गई है लेकिन कि मतलब वो ये शरीयत में आ गई ना कि ये किताब ये मैं शरीयत मौला का मकसद फरमाने का वो मतलब हकीकत तो अगर ये नमाज रोजा बंदगी को चाहता है वो उम्मीद आजादी की रखता है इसमें कुछ लोग ने मतलब जवाब दिया कि लाइक वो आजादी की उम्मीद रखता है लेकिन आजादी वो कहते हैं कि इल्म के जरिए मौला बोलते हैं ना कि इल्म से तो रब पहचाना और जो कलाम में है बहुत कुछ इल्म के बारे में है तो सिर्फ इल्म से आजादी हो सकती है इसका फरमान जरा मतलब वो है मुझे कंफ्यूज करता है
जी, ना सिर्फ इल्म से आजादी हो सकती है बल्कि खाली इल्म से ही आजादी हो सकती है। देखिए, मैं आपको वापस फरमान को ही से हम समझते हैं। कहां पर मौला ने बोला इबादत करके आजादी पाल लो, राइट? मौला ने इसके साथ कितनी बहुत शरारत रखी है कि इमाम का इश्क, इल्म, अच्छी नीयत, अच्छे काम, ये सब मिलाकर फिर जब कोई बंदा इबादत करता है तो जाकर उसको उस आजादी की खुशबू मिलती है, एक ब्लिंक मिलती है, एक चीज समझ में आती है। इल्म जो है ना वो इंसान को आजाद करता है। क्यों? कि आज हम कैद में हैं कि आजाद है, हमको कैसा पता चले? यू नो, आई वांटेड टू यूज दिस एग्जांपल। आप लोग जो अमेरिका में रहते हैं, कल हमारा जो है जून 10 है। आई डोंट नो आपको पता है कि नहीं कि कल क्या है? टुमारो मंडे, जून 10, जिस दिन कालों को आजादी मिली थी। तो आजादी मिली 2.5 साल पहले, उनको पता नहीं था। 2.5 साल के बाद टेक्सास गैल्वेस्टन के अंदर वो मैसेज पहुंचा जो 2.5 साल पहले वाशिंगटन में जारी हुआ था, जो शिकागो में जारी हुआ था, जो न्यूयॉर्क में जारी हुआ था। 2.5 साल के बाद उनको टेक्सास में पता चला। उसके पास क्या नहीं था? आजादी तो थी, आजादी का इल्म नहीं था। अब आ जाए आपकी बात पर कि इबादत तो सब करते हैं, हिंदू भी करता है, जूस भी करता है, क्रिश्चियन भी करता है, कोई नॉन इस्माइली मुस्लिम भी करता है, लेकिन आजादी किधर है? इस्माइली भी इबादत करता है, आजादी किधर है? और आपने अभी एक वर्ड यूज किया, फनाफी इमाम। अगर मैं आपको बताऊं कि फनाफी इमाम में भी आजादी नहीं है तो आप बोलेंगे अभी मैं क्या करूं? फनाफी इमाम में भी आजादी नहीं है। इमामी का फरमान देखें कि जन्नत भी एक केस खाना है। जब आप फना हो गए तो आजादी किधर है? उसके लिए आपको सुनना पड़ेगा रूह का सफर का लेक्चर। द जर्नी ऑफ द सोल, वो लेक्चर सुने, वहां पर नाचीज और गरीब ने आपकी रूह की आजादी के बारे में कहा है, आप सुने उसको, तब पता चलेगा कि हमारी आजादी कब होती है और आजादी है क्या। क्योंकि पहले हमको ये पता होना चाहिए कि आजादी है क्या। हम तो बंदे हैं ना, हम तो गुलाम हैं, आजादी किधर है। जब आप बंदे हैं, जब आप गुलाम हैं, जब आप कहते हैं कि मैं मोमिन हूं, मैं बंदा हूं, मैं गुलाम हूं, तो उसमें आजादी का तो सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता है। आजादी कब है? देखिए, इल्म आपको आजाद करेगा, इल्म आपको दर्जा ब दर्जा ऊपर ले जाएगा और आपको दिखाएगा कि आजादी क्या है, आजादी कहाँ है। अभी तक तो हमें ये भी पता नहीं है कि आजादी किधर है। अक्सर लोग कहते हैं मैं फनाफी इमाम हो जाऊं, मैं फनाफी इमाम हो जाऊं। मैं कहता हूं मुझे आजादी चाहिए। फर्क देखा आपने? अक्सर लोग कहते हैं मैं फनाफी इमाम हो जाऊं, मैं कहता हूं मुझे आजादी चाहिए। ये फर्क है उसमें। वो आजादी चाहता है, वो कौन है? वो जो इल्म रखता है आजादी का, जिसने आजादी को देखा है, जिसने आजादी को समझा है, वो आजादी चाहता है। बाकी सब जन्नत चाहते हैं, कुछ फनाफी इमाम होना चाहते हैं। आजादी कौन चाहता है? कोई भी नहीं चाहता है। वो आजादी चाहता है। देखा आपने? ये फर्क है। इल्म की रोशनी में जब आप इस फरमान को पढ़ेंगे, तब आपको आजादी नजर आएंगी, तब आप समझेंगे आजादी क्या है। आप वो लेक्चर जरूर सुने, रूह का सफर, द जर्नी ऑफ द सोल। उसमें नाचीज ने आजादी की तरफ इशारा किया है, समझाया है। जी
तो आजादी का मतलब हम जब देखेंगे कि इल्म वाली रूह आजाद होगी, तो एक होता है ना कि मतलब मौला जो इंसान को, ठीक है, वो आजादी हम समझते हैं कि जो मतलब कितनी हम कैदों में हैं अभी दुनिया में, लेकिन जब हम आजाद होंगे, जो हमारी रूह आजाद होगी, तो वो लाइक हर मजहब भी वो कहता है ना कि लाइक मौला वो जो बख्शिश इंसान को नवाजता है, जो बातनी आंख से इंसान देखता है, वो तो सिर्फ थ्रू इबादत से ही हो सकता है ना। वो जो इल्म से जो आजादी हमको मिलती है, वो भी एक फिजिकल फॉर्म में होगी ना, लाइक हमारी रूह इस हद तक पहुंच जाएगी, लाइक हम समझ सकते हैं, लेकिन एक वो भी एक लिमिट होगी, मुझे ऐसा लगता है।
इल्म से आजादी मिलती है, इबादत से आजादी मिलती तो हिंदू भी बहुत इबादत करते हैं। आप समझ गए मेरा बात? इल्म से आजादी मिलती है।
ओके, आपके
जी
लेक्चर सुनेंगे इंशाल्लाह, शायद समझ आ जाए। थैंक यू।
इंशाल्लाह। वरना इबादत तो हमने बहुत की, 50 साल से, बल्कि 60 साल से, बल्कि 70 साल से। कहाँ है वो आजादी? इल्म अभी हमने शुरू किया है, इल्म अभी लेना शुरू किया है हमने। इबादत तो बहुत पहले से करते थे। किधर है आजादी? क्योंकि आजादी को हमने को पता ही नहीं, आजादी है क्या, किधर है, कहाँ है, कैसी होगी आजादी, वो नहीं पता है हमको। जब हमको पता ही नहीं है तो आजादी कैसा मिलेंगे हमको? जी लेट्स मेक वन लास्ट कमेंट, लास्ट क्वेश्चन, इसके बाद हम
याली
स्टार्ट करते
मदद।
हैं। जी दिस विल बी योर
अजीज भाई,
लास्ट कमेंट, लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
हाँ
जी
अजीज भाई, मेरा
जी
सवाल ये था कि सुल्तान मुशाह का फरमान है, તમે જ્યારે સિજદો કરો ત્યારે दुआ मांगो કે અસલમાં વાસલ થાઓ। हाँ, ફી मौला फरमाते हैं તમે दुआ मांगो कि તમે फन्ना फिल्ला थाओ, ईसा हकीकती હતો તે खुदाમાં फना થયો. फिर मौला फरमाते हैं रूहानी रोशनी में कि आ અને તે બંને જુદા રસ્તા છે. આ બંદગી ઇબાદત કિતાબ અને નમાઝને ચાહે છે, તે ઉમેદ આઝાદીની રાખે છે. તો ये तीनों में क्या फर्क है?
देखा ना आपने क्या, देखो ये रास्ते की बात हुई, 3 रास्ते का, अभी आपने 3 रास्ते का डिस्कशन किया. ये फरमान 3 रास्ते का था. वो जो शरीयत की, वो जो सिर्फ दुआ पढ़ता है, वो जो सिर्फ जिस्म की तस्वीर और इबादत करता है जिस्म की, और कभी भी बातीन की इबादत नहीं करता है, रूह की इबादत नहीं करता है, और अक्ल से उसको समझ ही नहीं है कि इबादत क्या है. तो हमारे 2 बातीन है, हमारा जिस्म, उसका बातीन रूह, उसका बातीन अक्ल है. तो 2 बातीन है. अब आपके इस फरमान ने आपको जवाब दिया कि एक वो है जो बातीन में तो जाता है लेकिन उसके बातीन में नहीं जाता है. हमारा जिस्म, उसका बातीन रूह, रूह का बातीन अक्ल. तो अगर हम अपनी रूह के बातीन तक पहुंच भी गए तो उसके बातीन में नहीं जाते हैं, तो वापस हम कैद में आ गए, वापस हम कैद में आ गए. हमारी बहन ने अभी कहा कि जिस दिन हम मर जाएंगे तो हम आजाद हो जाएंगे. नहीं, वो तो हम बड़ी जेल में जाने वाले हैं अभी, क्योंकि जन्नत भी एक कैद खाना है. किसको तमा है जन्नत की? अरे इमाम मेरे साथ आज है तो मैं आज ही जन्नत में हूं, लेकिन फिर भी मैं कैद खाने में हूं. आजादी तो वो है कि जब हम फना फी इमाम, बका भी इमाम से, फना फी इमाम से ऊपर जाते हैं, यानी कि इमाम के अंदर फना होने के बाद भी ऊपर जाना है. वो जो आजादी की तमन्ना करता है वो आजादी पाता है. क्योंकि हमारा गोल था कि हम जन्नत में जाए, तो आप कैद खाने में गए. आपका गोल था फनाफी इमाम हो जाए, तो आप फनाफी इमाम हो गए. आजादी का ख्याल नहीं किया. अगर आप किसी चीज के अंदर है तो कैद खाना है. आजादी किधर है? आजादी किधर है? फनाफी इमाम के अल्फाज को देखें आप, इमाम में तो आजादी तो नहीं है. आजादी किधर है? आप सुन रहे हैं ना मेरी बात को, अल्फाजों को सुना है. यही इमाम आपके फरमान में, अभी आपने जो फरमान पढ़े, एब्सोल्युटली इमाम ने हमें आजादी की तरफ तवज्जो दिलाई है. लेकिन चूंकि हमारे पास इल्म नहीं है तो हम आजादी को समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं कि आजादी क्या है. इसलिए नाची से दरखास्त की कि आप रूह के सफर का जो लेक्चर सुनेंगे उसमें आपको सिस्टमेटिकली समझाया है कि 6 से हम 5 में, 4 में, 3 में, 3 से ऊपर नूर की रोशनी मिलेंगी. मैंने आपको एक के कुछ पाए बिगर
ये इतना इम्पोर्टेंट है.
स्टेप आपको समझाया है कि आप जब नूर के अंदर आएंगे फिर आप कहाँ जाएंगे, फिर आप बुलंद जाएंगे, फिर आप बुलंद जाएंगे, फिर आप बुलंद जाएंगे, तब जाके आजादी मिलेंगी. जी, I'm sorry, somebody was trying to say something.
Yes, I was.
जी.
I wanted a little bit of that in English, please, if possible.
Oh yes. So
Because
I was
it's so
telling my
important.
sister. Yes, I was telling my sister. So she was quoting Sultan Muhammad Shah 2 or 3 different faramin, where systematically Imam talked about how Peace Sadruddin and Hazrat Isa became one with the Noor of Imam. And then Imam talked about the dua, the son, namaz, ibadat, part of the Shariat, physical practices. And then Imam talked about, then there are others. Those were the one who were intellect, who were wise, and they wished for freedom. They wished for freedom. They did not wish for Jannat, because Jannat is the jail cell. They did not wish for that. They wished for freedom. So I was explaining to her that if you truly wanted to learn what freedom is, invest your 3 hours and listen to the lecture. Because there, step by step, systematically, without any veil, I did not hide anything. If you listen to it carefully, pray first, ask Imam to teach you, show you, pray with the tasbih, listen to that lecture. It will show you from the bottom down. Today we are where? Tomorrow where we will be? The next day and the next day. And when we get to the bottom of 3 compared to the top of the 3. Exactly I have said when you will see the Nur. That much detail. That much detail. And when you will become Fanafi Imam. That much detail. And when you will receive your freedom. That much detail is in that one lecture. It's a long lecture. You have to invest some time. Do some tasbih Kriya Wazari. Inshallah, you will understand. It's very clearly, openly, I have talked about that. Ji.
Can Kameh Sahib please share those lectures again? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Let's stop here. Inshallah, if you would pray for me, we will continue on this journey and we will meet again next week and we will move forward. Inshallah, step by step, we will understand and continue to pray for me because I need prayers more than anyone on this line. Thank you, everyone. Yali Madad, Yali
Molali
Madad.
Madad. Thank you, sir.
Yali
Yali
Madad,
Madad,
sir.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Amin.
Molali
Madad,
Madad.
Yali Madad.
Thank you
Yali Madad,
to
thank you.
everyone. Molali
Ali
Madad.
Madad, we'll pray for
Yali
you.
Madad Sahib.
Yali
Yali
Madad,
Madad.
Mola Sukhi
Yali
Salamat
Madad, thank
Abad
you.
Rakhe.
Thank you
Amin.
very much.
Amin.
Yali
Amin.
Madad,
Amin.
मौला
Yali
आपको
Madad,
सलामत ही रखे
Yali Madad
सलामत
sir.
रखे आपको
आमीन
Yali
बहुत सारी
Madad,
दुआएं
Yali
बहुत
Madad.
सारी दुआएं
Amin.
Yali
Amin.
Madad
Amin.
Yali Madad
Amin. Yali Madad,
Lots of
Yali
dua
Madad.
to you.
Yali
Yali
Madad,
Madad.
Amin.
sir.
Lots of dua.
Amin. Continue
मौला बड़ी
prayers.
उम्मीद
Amin.
पूरी करे
Amin.
आमीन
Thank you. Thank you.
Yali
Yali
Madad
Madad. Yali
Yali
Madad,
Madad
everyone.
Yali Madad
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Is the K online?